You can't be a woman and not know how to calculate your menstrual cycle length, track your ovulation, or even tell when you're in your fertile or infertile window. Yes, this is one of the major reasons why some mothers are struggling to conceive today, and some young women are battling with unwanted pregnancies. So as a girl child, it is high time you took it upon yourself to learn this once and for all. And as for men, you can also learn for your daughters, sisters, or even partner. This video might be a bit long because I'll try and make it as understandable as possible. So grab your popcorn, sit back while we dive in. Hi everyone, it's Lost Treasure here. You all are welcome back to my page, and on today's lesson, I'll be teaching you how to calculate your menstrual cycle length, track your ovulation, as well as your fertile and infertile window. First of all, we are going to start with the foundation, which is calculating your menstrual cycle length, because this is where everything starts. You have to first of all know how to calculate your menstrual cycle length before you'll be able to track your ovulation, as well as your fertile and infertile window. So what is menstrual cycle length? It is gotten from the word menstrual, which means menses or period, and then length, which means how long something lasts. So putting them together, you see that menstrual cycle length simply means the number of days starting from the first day of one period to the last day before your next period. I take it again. Menstrual cycle length is the number of days starting from the first day of one period to the last day before your next period. Let's demonstrate. Before we proceed, I would like you to know that menstrual cycle length has a normal range. It ranges from 21 to 35 days. Anything within this range is normal. Your own can be 21, 22, 23. Anything at all within 21 to 35 days is considered normal. It is also important to note that you have to track your menstrual cycle length for what? Complete 6 months. Before you can say that, oh, this is my menstrual cycle length. You have to make sure that you are getting the same number consecutively for what? Complete 6 months. That is the only way you can say that you are sure that this particular number is your menstrual cycle length. If it is not the same, let's say your menstrual cycle length varies every month, that means you belong to the group of people that have what? Irregular menses. Now, over here, we have the month of March, which runs for 31 days. Then we have the month of April, which runs for 30 days. From this illustration, we were made to understand that this person started seeing her period on the first day of March, and it ended on the 5th day, because her period usually lasts for 5 days. It ended on the 5th day of March. Then again, on the 29th of March, her next period started, and because her period usually lasts for 5 days, it lingered from this March. It now ended on the 2nd of April. So since we say that menstrual cycle length is the number of days starting from the first day of one period, this is the first day of one period, to the last day before your next period, this is the last day before your next period, then let's count the number of days we will get, because that is what is going to give us this person's menstrual cycle length. So counting, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So it means that this person has 28 days menstrual cycle length. 28 days. MCL, menstrual cycle length. This person's menstrual cycle length is 28 days. 28 days menstrual cycle length. I hope it is clear enough. The mistake that most people make is that they will ask you, what if my period ends on day 5th? Should I still continue counting? Yes, my darling, you have to continue counting. Continue counting till the last day before your next period starts. Some also make the mistake of they will not even count at all until the period ends, then they will start counting, but it is very wrong. So I believe that with this, you have learned how to calculate your menstrual cycle length. Let's say even if your own starts on the 2nd, any day of the month at all, just start counting from that first day that you see your period. You start counting till the last day before your next period comes. That automatically tells you your menstrual cycle length. Now, how do we then calculate somebody's ovulation? Most times, people tell you that ovulation is on the 14th day, but it is not always true. It only applies to people that have 28 days menstrual cycle length. What do I mean? Calculating your ovulation is as simple as anything at all, as far as you have already known how to calculate your menstrual cycle length. For you to calculate your ovulation is equal to menstrual cycle length minus 14. That is how you are going to get your ovulation. Once you have known how to calculate your menstrual cycle length, all you have to do is that your menstrual cycle length minus 14 is what will give you your ovulation day. Before we move on, let's even define ovulation. What is ovulation? Ovulation is simply the release of egg from the ovaries, and that egg that is released lasts for 24 hours only. Then also, before we calculate the ovulation, I want to let you know that sperm lasts in a woman's body for the maximum of 5 days. So having told you that the formula for ovulation is menstrual cycle length minus 14, you see that people that have 21 days menstrual cycle length minus 14 gives them day 7th as the ovulation day. 22 days has day 8 as the ovulation day. 23 days has day 9. That is how it continues throughout. And that is why over here, 28 days menstrual cycle length have 14 as the ovulation day, which is why people say that, oh, that everybody's ovulation is on day 14th, which is not right. I know that they said it because majority of people have 28 days menstrual cycle length. But I know that there are people that have 21, 22, 23, and the rest, even the 35 itself, which is the maximum range. So you cannot say that ovulation is on the day 14th of your menstrual cycle length. No, it only applies to people that have what? 28 days menstrual cycle length. Also, I need you to note that ovulation is plus or minus 2. Ovulation is what? Plus or minus what? 2. What do I mean by this? It means that your ovulation can come 2 days before the actual number that your ovulation is supposed to come. Let's say in 21 days now, the ovulation is supposed to come on day 7th. So it means that the ovulation can come 2 days before this day 7th. It can also come on that day 7th or also 2 days after day 7th. So when we say plus or minus 2 means it can be minus 2, meaning 2 days before the actual day, or plus 2, which means 2 days after the actual day, or even on that actual day. So now, since we are using someone that has 28 days menstrual cycle length, for example, and people that have 28 days menstrual cycle length ovulate on day 14th, it means that this person is ovulating on day 14th. This person's ovulation is on day 14th of the menstrual cycle length. So we are through with your ovulation. You have known how to calculate your ovulation. Now, it is how to calculate your fertile and infertile window. When should you have unprotected intercourse and not get pregnant? And when should you have in order to get pregnant? So your fertile window is 7 days before your ovulation and 3 days after your ovulation. 7 days before your ovulation and 3 days after your ovulation. So now, since I said 7 days before your ovulation and 3 days after your ovulation, let's count 7 days backward. That is before your ovulation. So when we are counting, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7 days before this person's ovulation. So it means that since this person's period usually lasts for 5 days, this person only have day 6 to have unprotected intercourse and not get pregnant. Then after this day 6, this whole period, starting from this 7th, then also let's count 3 days after, because we said it's 7 days before and 3 days after. So it means that from day 7th to day 17th, anything done, any unprotected intercourse from day 7th to day 17th, you are likely to get pregnant. So you abstain from unprotected intercourse. But you see this day 6th, backward from day 1 to day 6 is your safe period. You will not get pregnant if you have unprotected intercourse from this day 1 to day 6. Also, starting from again this day 18 to day 28, that is the last day, you are still not going to get pregnant. It is also your safe period. From day 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 is also safe. So the only time when you are not safe, if you have 28 days menstrual cycle length, is starting from day 7th to day 17th. From 7th to 17th is not safe for you. But then from 1 to 6 is safe. And again, from 18th to 28 is safe. Why did we say this? Since we say that sperm lasts in the woman's body for what? 5 days. Imagine if this person should have unprotected intercourse on this day 7th, for instance. That is why we say 7 days before. If you have unprotected intercourse on this day 7th, then sperm will last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days. Sperm lasts for what? 5 days. 5 days. And since we say that ovulation can come 2 days before the actual day, mind you that this is the actual day. So it means that if this sperm should last till this day 12th, it means that on this day 12th, if the ovulation decides to come earlier on that particular cycle, it means that once the egg is being released, sperm is already waiting and it will automatically fertilize that egg. The same thing happens to here. We said 3 days after your ovulation day, because if, for instance, your ovulation decided to come late, so instead of coming on day 14th, it said no. Instead of coming on 15th, it said no. Then on day 16th, your ovulation decided to come. Because mind you, day 16th is still within 2 days after your actual day. Because we said it can come on this day, this day, this day, this day, or this day. So if it happens to come on this 16th and the egg lasts for 24 hours, so we believe that the egg released on 16th, at day 17th, it must have died off, which is why we say that starting from day 18, you are safe again till day 28 before your next period starts. I hope this is clear. This also applies to anybody that has any other menstrual cycle length, starting from this 21 to 35 days. So let's assume, for instance, if this person that has 28 days menstrual cycle length, if she's lucky enough that her period lasts for only 3 days or even 4 days, it means that she still have day 4th, 5th, and 6th, and it is safe for her. So it depends on how long your period lasts. Some people's period lasts for 7 days, which means that at this 7th day, when this person is even no longer safe, this person is still seeing her period. So you will continue from your period, you will abstain from unprotected intercourse until after day 17th. Then from day 18th, you can now have unprotected intercourse till day 28. So it depends on how many days your menses usually lasts. And this applies to every other menstrual cycle length. I only use 28 for the illustration because most people, majority, have 28 days menstrual cycle length. If you have irregular period, your period behaves like a chameleon, in the sense that this month you can count 21 days, another month it can be 28 days, another month again it can even be 35 days, and you're already hopeless thinking that there's no way you can track your ovulation or fertile and infertile window. Well, draw your seat closer because I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that today. Before we continue, if you know that you've not watched the previous video I made on how to calculate your cycle length, your ovulation, fertile and infertile window for people that have regular cycle, I suggest that you go back and watch it in order for you to be able to understand this better. And also, remember I said again that before you can say that a particular day of the month is your cycle length, you're supposed to track your cycle for complete 6 months. For complete what? 6 months. Now, let's demonstrate. The illustration on the board shows us an example of someone that has tracked her period for complete 6 months, and in month 1 her cycle length was 21 days, in month 2 it was 28 days, month 3 it was 24 days, month 4 it was 26 days, month 5 it was 23 days, and then at month 6 it was 35 days. So the formula that we are going to use is what we called what? The Ogino-Naus formula. This formula states that for you to track your ovulation if you have irregular cycle, what you are going to do is what? Shortest cycle minus 14 and also longest cycle minus 14. That is how you get what? Your ovulation. We have to identify this person's shortest cycle and the person's longest cycle over this period of 6 months. Looking at this, you can tell that the shortest cycle here is 21 days. So this person's shortest cycle, SC, is what? 21 days. And then the person's longest cycle, LC, is what? 35 days. So if we apply this Ogino-Naus formula, then we get that 21 minus 14, which will give us what? 7. And then 35 minus what? 14, which will give us what? 21. So it means that for this particular person, her ovulation starts from what? Anything from this day 7 to day what? 21. From day 7 to day 21 is this person's what? Ovulation. But then remember that I said in my previous video that ovulation can be what? Plus or minus 2, meaning that it can occur 2 days before the actual day, on that actual day, or then 2 days after the actual day. Because of the fact that this person has irregular cycle, the person's actual day is said to be anything starting from day 7 to day 21. When I say day 7 to day 21, it means that your ovulation can occur day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10, day 11, 12, 13, till 21 days. That is the day that your ovulation is likely to occur. Then when we now apply this plus or minus 2 thing, you see that this person's ovulation, when we say minus 2, before that this first actual day, that means it's going to be 5, then 2. When we now say 2 days after the actual day, so when we now add 2 to this 21, we now get what? 23. So it means that this person will not ovulate anything outside from day 5 to day 23. This person should, it's a must that this person is supposed to what? Have ovulated from day 5 to day 23. That is that. And that is simply how you can track your what? Ovulation if you have irregular cycle. All you have to do is what? Shortest cycle minus 14, and then longest cycle minus what? 14. Then when you now get the range, you then do what? Remember that we said plus or minus 2, which even people that have regular cycle is applying this plus or minus 2. So you also do the same and then add plus or minus 2. That means count 2 days before this actual day, and then also add another 2 days after the actual day. And that is that. Now over to how to track your fertile and infertile window. We are still going to use this same person's method, this Ogino Now's method, but this time around he has a different method for tracking the fertile window, which says that shortest cycle minus what? 18, and then longest cycle minus 11. So fertile window equal to shortest cycle SC minus 18, and then longest cycle LC minus what? 11. Still using the same example, we've seen that this person's shortest cycle is 21. So we'll say 21 minus what? 18, which will give us what? 3. Then we'll now say longest cycle minus 11. The person's longest cycle is 35 days. So we'll now say 35 minus what? 11, which will give us what? 24. So it means that this person's fertile window is what? Starting from day 3 to day what? 24 of their cycle. In calculating this fertile window, we consider the fact, the formula has already considered the fact that what? Sperm lasts in a woman's body for complete 5 days. So all you have to know is that what? When you apply this formula for this particular example, this person's fertile window is from day 3 to day 24, meaning that any other time apart from this day 3 to day 24 is what? Your safe period. You are not likely to get pregnant within that particular period. And we just use this one for an example. Don't tell me that, oh, your own is so and so. Just apply this method to your own. Whatever variation of cycle that you are having, just apply this particular method and you get your ovulation and fertile window. That's just it. As simple as ABC. If it was helpful, please share this video so others can learn. See you in the next one.